So
15 years.
I'm just gonna pretty quickly go through this. What is high school enterprise? Where it came from? A little bit of background, and as we go through the week, a lot of these things will be built upon, like for instance, the Michigan Tech College Enterprise Program. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that. But if I have to sum it up, I could go into a very long description of what is high school enterprise, and if I have less amount of time, I can shorten it. And this first line here, student teams and STEM projects, and that's about as short as I can get, and capture anything about the program. But there's obviously several bullet points here about what is high school enterprise, and but I think one aspect of it is enterprising teachers, enterprising students. There are some rewards that are there for participating and being enterprising in various ways. So I just want to go through a little bit of background about high school enterprise then, and then turn it over to Betty, and she'll talk about the assessment part of what we're doing over the next few years. The HSE goals, and we've already talked about these, we're not going to spend a lot of time here, are here. Expand the pathway, develop interest. This is something I really haven't talked about yet now, but all the things that are in enterprise, not just the technical part, but looking at the entrepreneurial part, the business part, interpersonal skills, all those other skills that go along with being a productive person. I think this is very important in the program. We've been teaching these students for a long time by the time they get to high school, and a lot of good things going on. There's great. This isn't about reform. High school enterprise isn't about high school reform, but it's about having a place where we can engage students where they are learning, I'll say learning deeply in this prior knowledge, building up this prior knowledge in a lot of areas, have enthusiastic people leading these teams, and hopefully having some fun and getting some reward from it. At the beginning of your binder on Monday, if you look right, each day in your binder there are some quotes, and there's a beautiful picture that Felicia is very talented. Felicia's very talented. She's an artist and a pretty good photographer, so these are her photographs. And it's kind of a theme as it runs through the week. But every day I've got quotes, a few quotes, and the three quotes for today. First one that you've heard and seen. I hear, and I forget. I see, and I remember. I do, and I understand. Chinese proverb. It's used a lot in education, and that really gets to the heart of what we're trying to do by having students do something real. Second one, knowledge must come through action. You can have no test, which is not fanciful, saved by trial, which kind of the same thing. When your feet are in the fire, when you're on trial, so to speak, really doing something, you really then start to gain the knowledge and seed it pretty deeply where it's useful, and you can retrieve it, and you are really learning. So learning in classroom, say learning a date that something happened, I mean that's all has its place, but until it really gets put to use and used, so to speak, in something that's larger, that's really when it sets. I use the word deep learning. In other words, so they take the test and they write the answer down, and then they do the flush and reboot, and they're all ready to go for the next year. So hopefully we're getting a little bit beyond that. And then the third one, because I think a lot of coaches that are taking this on, they hear all this stuff that high school enterprise is supposed to be. I think it's a really good quote. Take a deep breath, count to 10, and tackle each task one step at a time. So just, you don't have to do everything all at once, you don't have to know everything all at once. So, and that I think all your pictures on here are local to this area, right? So maybe I'll let you talk about your photographs later. As I said earlier, the high school enterprise